You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers and what in the hell it is they're doing at quarterback right now. Kenny Pickett, let's be real, Kenny's been benched. Now, you guys know, if you watch this channel, I've said it enough, I like Kenny Pickett. I am sort of surprised he has struggled as much as he has, but at the same time, let's be real. This offensive coordinator situation with the Pittsburgh Steelers, it's trash, all right? It's not great. They don't have some great offensive mind in there, and hopefully that will change for Steelers fans after the season, because Tomlin's supposed to get an extension, and with an extension, you could think that maybe that's going to have some hot shot offensive coordinator to come in there. I got to thinking about Eric Bieniemy, and I thought to myself, well, that seems like a fit, except he got Sam Howell absolutely killed out there this year. He did. I mean, Sam Howell took a crazy amount of sacks, and the scheme that he's running, Bieniemy that is not really friendly to the quarterback when it comes to protection, okay? I mean, Sam Howell was getting killed, and, you know, do you want to bring that kind of guy in for your quarterback? I don't know. But regardless, there'll be some names that I'm sure the Steelers will look at. Well, a couple of names are emerging as to possible longer-term solutions for the Steelers. And one of them, a lot of controversy has come with this week, and that's Russell Wilson. That's right. Now, Russell Wilson made some comments, and he confirmed some of the reports that came out earlier this week. Wilson wasn't scheduled to address the media, but when approached in the locker room, he took the opportunity to confirm media reports that Denver's front office told him he would be benched for the team's final 9 games unless he agreed to delay a contract trigger guaranteeing his 2025 salary. Quote, they came up to me during the bye week and at the beginning of the bye week, Monday or Tuesday. They told me if I didn't change my contract, my injury guarantee, they'd bench me for the rest of the year. Wilson said, quote, I was definitely disappointed about it. It was a process for the whole bye week. We had just come off beating the Chiefs. I was excited for us fighting for the playoffs and getting on a hot streak. And then the NFLPA and the NFL got involved or whatever at some point. Okay. Now, the thing about this, you notice this says, they told me if I didn't change my contract. Look, the financials of Russell Wilson's contract were, number one, pre-Sean Payton. Number two, they were not financially viable, all right? Yes, Russell Wilson has had a comeback year compared to last year to a point. But Russell Wilson was still, number one, not able to run the offense that Sean Payton wanted to run, which is his offense, the offense he ran with Drew Brees. And number two, obviously, Russell Wilson plays a style of football that could get him injured, and the financials didn't work out. They wanted him to take less money, all right? He refused to do so. Let's be real. Let's just peel the curtain back. Obviously, if he had said, yeah, I'll play next year for $15 million, this probably would not be happening right now. All right? So, and he would probably let it play out. Sean Payton also wanted to check out Jared Stidham. That's another thing. But Russell Wilson's obviously going to hit the market, and there's going to be a lot of teams that pop up. The Steelers, well, they're rumored now for 2 different quarterbacks, and one of them is a quarterback that we talk about a lot, Baker Mayfield. Yeah, Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk recently discussed the impending free agent status of Baker Mayfield, who is currently playing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on a 1-year deal. Florio noted that while Mayfield wants to remain with the Bucs, there will be no shortage of potential suitors for the quarterback in the spring. I think you're going to see 4 to 5 teams chasing Baker, all right? And it's going to be the same teams that may be interested in Russell Wilson. But I think the Raiders, I think the Patriots, I think the Steelers, and the Bucks are all going to be looking heavily at Baker. I do believe that. By the way, I'm not too sure Baker couldn't run Sean Payton's offense pretty well. I mean, and he's relatively accurate. He doesn't hesitate. He gets a snap. He slings it in there. He then goes on to mention the Steelers as a possible landing spot. Right now, Pittsburgh is employing Kenny Pickett under center. Well, not this week. But 2 years into his NFL career, Pickett has shown little indication he is legitimately the Steelers' quarterback of the future. Mayfield is enjoying a resurgent year with the Buccaneers, having thrown for 3,600 yards, 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, while completing 64% of his passes, and posted a passer rating of 96.2. And unlike Russell Wilson, because those numbers between Mayfield and Russell, the statistical numbers look very similar. But Wilson's turnovers have been ill-timed, and Baker has shown up in the clutch. And that's a massive difference. Okay? Some of Wilson's turnovers and decision-making mistakes have been back-breaking. They haven't so much been for Mayfield. And Mayfield has shown he's got some clutch in him. And we all knew that about Baker. So, we come over here to Russell Wilson. It's talking about the Steelers. If Wilson does hit the open market, CBS Sports' Zach Glibb believes the Steelers are a team that should approach him. Quote, who are the most intriguing destinations out there? They have a good roster, they have a good team, and they could use an upgrade at the quarterback position. Gibb, quote, how about the Pittsburgh Steelers? The Steelers have two receivers probably on the verge of killing each other, and George Pickens and Deontay Johnson, because they have no quarterback play. Heck, Mason Rudolph just played well, and now he's replacing a first-round pick from 2 drafts ago. You have a defense with a ton of talent, if healthy, and you have Jaylen Warren and Najee Harris to run the ball. The Steelers are in the midst of somewhat of a quarterback controversy after Mason Rudolph lit up the scoreboard in his 2023 debut, throwing for 290 and 2 touchdowns. Pickett is dealing with an ankle injury, but the emergence of Rudolph has opened questions. Well, as we know, as of right now, it looks like Kenny Pickett's lost his job because Rudolph is the starter. Now, if Rudolph stinks it up, I would suspect you will see Kenny Pickett back the last week of the season. The Steelers are fighting for the playoffs right now. They currently set at 32% if they win this game. So, currently they're at 17, but if they win, it's 32%. So, it's not over from a playoff perspective for the Steelers right now. But I think it's interesting to talk about, clarification with Wilson. There's still a chance he might have been starting had he agreed to adjust that injury guarantee, right? Again, play style. Do I wonder how him and Mike Tomlin would fit from a personality standpoint? I'm not going to kid you. I think Mike Tomlin and Russell Wilson might get along better, all right? Because Mike Tomlin is not going to be so locked in on how his offense is run. It's everything for Sean Payton, okay? He's got a certain offense. It's been successful, and he knows the kind of quarterback that can run it. Look, the Sean Payton-Russell Wilson thing was doomed before the season started, and I think most of us that was paying attention realized that. It was like, Russ can't run that offense. And Chris Sims was saying that, for example, when he watches tape, it's like the Broncos were running 9 offensive plays. Now, the way Sean Payton's offense really works is he's got, I don't know how many plays. It's a ton. All right? But every play has got multiple offshoots of one play. And Russell Wilson couldn't run the offense. And that obviously frustrated Sean Payton, and there was a reason why Jarrett Stidham was brought in. Now, for the Broncos, Baker Mayfield's interesting. I'm not entirely sold Jarrett Stidham doesn't win that job over the next 2 days. That said, they could still draft a quarterback, obviously, second, third, fourth round. But I think Jarrett Stidham with Sean Payton is going to be very interesting. I do. I think that's interesting. Look, Baker Mayfield, a very blue-collar kind of guy, got that sort of Brett Favre fired-up moxie, right? We saw a lot of that out of Tom Brady. And, Baker, Pittsburgh, it's not, Mike Evans is a free agent. If he leaves for Tampa Bay, I don't know that Baker should stay there because while I used to not appreciate any kind of number one wide receiver, I didn't. I didn't think you needed them to win. But I think the NFL has changed over the last 5 to 7 years, and all you have to do is look at the Chiefs and other teams around the league. The Patriots is a big one. The Panthers, All you got to do is look around the league and look at the sputtering offenses and the ones that are excelling, like Miami. San Francisco got weapons everywhere, and realize how important it is now to have speed, guys that can separate and do shit in space. It's a big deal. It's a big deal now. It didn't used to be, but the way the league is set up and the way the rules have finally cycled through over the last 5 to 7 years, it's a major deal. And if he loses Mike Evans, I don't know. If I'm Baker, I might consider going. If they re-sign Mike Evans, I think if you're a Baker, you've got to seriously consider saying, I'm staying in Tampa Bay. And I think they want him back. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. Where does Russell Wilson end up? Raiders, Steelers, there's a lot of places. What happens with Baker? We'll have to find out. Don't sleep. If Belichick comes back to the Patriots, shit, he's going to want Baker Mayfield. I mean, he loves Baker. They loved him coming out in college. Now, they have no weapons, and I think if Baker goes there, it's going to be a disaster if they have not reloaded the wide receivers on that roster. I just think Baker it'll be a disaster. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.